Beyonce, hello. Welcome to Eagle Heart Manifestation. My name is Eagle Heart Woman, and I am glad you're here. And today, I'd like to kind of circle back to what I talked about yesterday, because on the Eagle Heart Manifestation Facebook page, I had somebody write to me after watching yesterday's video about how your past does not create your future. You do. And they said that it sounded like I was asking them to fake it till they make it, fake it till you make it. And they said, it's not so simple as all that. And, really, I do need to dive in a little deeper then to explain how no matter what is happening around you, you do have free will to change how you feel from the inside out. Then they countered me talking about how everything begins from within by saying, and how do you expect me to be happy and think great thoughts when this world is not rising in consciousness? It seems to be lowering itself, and we are seeming to move into more hatred and intolerance and fear and greed more than we ever have. So, how do you expect me to be happy? It's a good question. And, you know, as I said again, you've been given free will. And I can tell you this, that you can say 10 million affirmations a day, but it all comes back down to, what do you believe? And what do you believe about yourself? What is the story that you tell yourself? Because yes, you can fake it till you make it, and a lot of people you do see are just happy no matter what is going on. One of my elders, Harry Nanuj, once we came out of a shopping mall and somebody had stolen his car. We got to the spot where we were supposed to be jumping in his car and driving away, and it was gone. And I started to get all, oh, like, what do we do? We better phone the police, blah, blah, blah. And he just stayed calm. And he said, oh, I guess Creator is having me do, my car is stolen today. Just having me experience that. And I'll get it back. And sure enough, he did. The car was taken by some kids and was down the road a little bit, albeit on a gravel road, but yes, he did get it back, and he chose not to let his outer surroundings affect how he was feeling. He was always a happy person. And it's like Wayne Dyer said this a long time ago, an orange, if you squeeze it, orange juice comes out. A person that's full of love, if you squeeze it, put pressure on it, love will still come out. So this is what I'm talking about when I say, no matter what's happened in your life, no matter how bad your story is, if you've been sexually abused, mentally abused, physically abused, if you've been cheated on, lied to, stolen from, you might say to me, how can you expect me to think good thoughts or to imagine abundance, health, and great love when all that's ever happened to me in my life is bad? So I think that all of your pain that you have experienced in life so far is a route, it's a journey. If you will follow it and heal it, and you may need some help, you may have a very, very deep, deep subconscious feeling that you're not even aware of. And I have a friend who was raised in an alcoholic family, and he was 70. No, I think he was 60. Sorry about that. And he lost an auntie that he loved, that had taken the place of his mother, who was also drinking when he was being raised. And she passed away during COVID. He he cried a little bit, but it didn't affect him very much, as much as it may have affected other people. But then he started to feel heart problems, and he actually had to go to the ER. He actually was seeing the doctor, and they couldn't find anything wrong with him. He came back home, and an elder friend of his said, "You know, you've just lost your aunt. Have you grieved her? She was pretty important in your life, wasn't she?" And he had to go deep, and the friend asked him more and more questions. And he finally realized that growing up with all of the fear around him, he never knew what kind of person his dad was going to be on any given moment, in any given moment, and his mother the same way. So he was always in survival mode. And the one person who seemed to care about him and was his protector was his aunt. So it was like when the friend asked him that and he realized that his only protector was gone, he sobbed. He cried. It was like he was a 7-year-old boy all over again. And that 7-year-old boy had lost the only protector that he had in his life. So that's how deeply, I mean, he didn't even realize it until he got some help. It wasn't professional, it was from a friend, to really go deeply and find out what was that. Actually, it was the heart problems that got him really thinking about it. And somebody even told him that unresolved grief can actually affect us physically. We know that things can affect us physically very easily. The heart and mind are so closely related. And that's why I affirm good health every day. Though the little muscles around his heart were actually being affected and were the cause of him having the heart palpitations. As soon as he released and cried and grieved that aunt, his great protector, he never went into the hospital again. His so-called heart problem totally disappeared. So that is the workshop of life. We are all, none of us is exempt from trauma. But if you choose not to be defined by that past, not to believe so much in that past, believe more in your future. That past does not have anything more to do with you. You are in the moment. That is the wake of the boat and the beautiful scenery and the mountains and the water ahead of you. That's where you are now. So another story that I have is I have a friend who is an amazing therapist, and she uses a way of doing things that came to her in a vision. She's very learned. She's a doctor, but in her therapy, she's finding that everywhere that she goes, every step that she takes, she's barricaded or blocked by government regulations, government rules. There is no way that they will consider her therapy worthy of being, covered by the government. So she's very, very frustrated. And I told her, again, to think big. You always hear me talking about being crazy, being delusional. And this woman is so good at what she does. I could see her having her own clinic, having perhaps an angel investor, sink in a lot of money that would pay for the customers that would be coming to her, pay for her clients. And then all of a sudden, as I was telling her this, she disappeared and came out with an envelope. And inside that envelope was the most amazing healing center that you've ever seen. It was divided into 13 rooms, therapy rooms, that each had their own storeroom for whoever was healing or teaching in there would have access to drums or rattles or blankets, whatever they would need to do their therapy. There was a waterfall. There were walls of living plants. There was a skylight above. There were healing gardens outside, decks everywhere, a beautiful area for staff. And I said, Darlene, it's right here. Your vision, your dream, playing it the way that you want to, walking in a way that you know is good for your people, thinking more in a round shape rather than the square, hard edges that reality, that government throw at you. This is your dream. You can be fully functioning and doing your very recognized therapy inside your amazing facility. And then I asked her the question, why are those plans that are so beautifully drawn out, so inspired, why are they in that envelope, hidden away? And of course, it was because she didn't ever think it was possible. Literally, those were her dreams that she had encased in an envelope and stuffed into a dark and empty drawer. So I told her to make copies of that, reduce them if she needed to, put one in her car, put one above her bed, put one in her wallet, and see that vision coming to life. And I asked her, what does it feel like coming in the morning, unlocking the door, seeing your amazing staff, seeing everything set up, feeling absolutely beautiful in this climate, in this decor, in this environment that you have created? What does that feel like? And she just smiled and gave a big sigh, and she said, it feels wonderful. It feels like what I'm supposed to be doing here in this world. So I texted her today to make sure that she made those copies and that she's looking at it every day. And when she feels beaten down by the system and that she's never really going to get everywhere, there'll always be another course that she has to take or another hoop that she has to jump through for the government to back her. She can just do things in a different way with her imagination, with her creative mind, and that she already feels that it's happened, and that will draw it to her. The subconscious mind doesn't know if it's real or if it's not. And whatever is in your subconscious mind, rightly or wrongly, purposefully or by default, is what comes to pass in our reality. And if we're wondering why we have what we have in our reality, look deeply. Look at what you deeply believe about yourself, about life, about the universe. Is the universe friendly, or is it an enemy and attacking you? You have free will. You can decide. I've carried this pain long enough. I'm setting it down. And I'm going to be the amazing co-creator with the Creator. And I am going to make a difference in this world. I'm going to make a noise in this world. And it's time. It's time. So I'm just going to leave you with a beautiful, beautiful thought. And again, I'll have to read it. If you want to be happy, think about this. Cultivate a beautiful heart, an open mind, and a humble spirit. Thank you for listening. Kinanskomitin, hi hi. We'll see you soon.